We're trying this again, huh, Russ?
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Oh, yes. We're back again. Just had a show. We're going to do another one very, very, very quickly to announce SFB scoring. We tried it the other day and realized really quickly it wasn't going to work. Had to recalibrate. Russ didn't pop on yesterday to make up scoring rules.
I was, in not so many words, told that I shouldn't do it for very, very specific reasons that, due to the safety of my family, I can't really talk about.
Wow.
Sheesh.
I wonder who got to you.
I can't say that. That will just get me in more trouble.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so we had a little issue with the target thing. Had to figure out how to work around that, and there's really no good workaround, but we're gonna do something fun anyway. Yeah. Here's the umbrella. I believe this umbrella color is called gray fog, so I hope that I don't look like a gray fog.
You look like a silver fox is what you look like. Actually, I'm the one with gray hair.
I have, in my beard, I have silver around here. I got some coming in now.
I have some over here.
Let's start the chat firing off. Yeah, let's get that whole discussion going. Yeah, yeah, with your burn.
One of these days we'll have apps fully functioning the way we want them to for our constantly growing fantasy industry.
So what I'm hearing is we need an SFB app.
Ooh.
That is just used for Fantasy Cares contests.
This is interesting. All right. I'm
just saying what I heard.
I'm going to write SFB app. Writing it down. All right, it's written down. It's in my notes.
That means it's real. It's real, everybody.
Yeah. So, we got 50 people in here already to hear some scoring and some settings. We ready to go? We got nothing else we're doing. We already gave away a whole lot of stuff today, so apparently we're all done with that. So,
we've got other stuff we can give away.
We got more stuff we can give away?
Yeah, Russ has a book he can give away right now.
Do people?
Do you want me to go get it? It's over there.
Let's give something away to the people that got here real fast. Whoa.
How quick are people?
People definitely have a back button and a freeze frame button.
Yes, they do. They can rewind it. That was there for a half second. Yep, they absolutely could do that. Where's my thing? I want to take a look at it while I'm doing that. All right. Yeah,
wait,
people
are we sharing fun things like real fast and then pulling them off the screen? Is that what we're here to do? Because that's fun if we want to do those kinds of things.
Oh, look at that draft board for a Cleveland draft.
All right, put it back up there. Russ. Let's give a good giveaway. We got the people that got in first.
Yeah, let's give away something real quick because when we go live, we basically always give away something. So that's
we didn't spin a wheel today yet. So
you guys support us. We wanna do nice things for you. So
and we have a book from one of our wonderful sponsors, Bob Long, who it's his fantasy football consistency guide. You might know Bob as the head of the expo as well, folks. Big sponsor, huge thank you to Bob Long. Mm-hmm. Awesome guy.
Huge thank you.
Yeah, he does so much for Fantasy Cares. You can't even imagine. He's one of our favorites. So
he goes above and beyond.
Yes.
So if you want a copy of the Fantasy Football 24 Consistency Guide, type the word book into the chat and you'll be entered onto the wheel for when it spins to pick who wins the book.
You made it so easy. I would have loved for you to use the word consistency.
I almost did it, but chose not to. I legitimately was about to do it.
Like the amount of there's definitely going to be spelling errors.
And I would not put them in if there were spelling errors. They would have to spell consistency consistently correctly.
Have you listened to the Spitballers where they do the spelling? Ever listen to it? And
listen to
they start with
anything.
7th grade words and then work up to 8th grade words and 9th grade words. Oh my God. It is hysterical. It is so funny listening to grown men spell something that shouldn't be funny, but it is very entertaining.
It sounds
and obviously those 3 are always hilarious. So
there's a bunch of books in the chat. Is that what they were supposed to say? Book?
No, they just started chanting that for some reason. I wasn't sure why either.
Oh, okay.
Did you get the time?
How are we going to do a winner now?
I did not give it time. You have till 5:16. You have a minute and change left to type the word book into the chat to win a copy of Bob Long's Fantasy Football 24 Consistency Guide. And I'm going to stop talking now so I can start typing.
And soon enough, Scott's got the scoring final, people. It is actually here.
Maybe.
It is. I mean, we're like, whether or not we're going with this.
This time it's for real. If this isn't happening, I'm making up the scoring.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. We're not even we're not gonna go anymore. We're
SFB. The majority of SFB drafts don't kick off for over a month. And by over a month, I mean a month and 12 hours? A month and a matter of hours at this point.
A month and 18 hours, it looks like.
Month and 18 hours. There you go. July 6th, Cincinnati kicks off. July 7th, Orlando kicks off. There's a lot more. I know the 29th, we got
22
Vegas,
days.
Cleveland.
22 days till Vegas kicks off.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I got
Vegas, Cleveland, Fort Lauderdale that first weekend. Woo.
Also,
Potathon over that weekend. Is that right?
Okay, I was wondering if I could announce that. Yeah, 22 days until the Potathon starts, too.
I'm pretty sure that's out. If not, wow, big announcement there. But
there's an announcement.
I feel like that was already out, right?
I mean, we haven't made a video or have made a big deal of it, but that's not to say we haven't actually talked about it.
All right. While you type in the numbers, I'm going to start going over the score.
I like it. Oh, anyway, of course. Yes, he did that.
The worst times. The worst times.
Yeah, I read this one.
Wait, what magic trick just happened?
What?
I just got a memo. They think they can get away with this?
You
I got a memo that you guys
magic trick. You switched people.
I just got a memo. That's all.
So Scott, it's 0 points per target now, correct?
It is 0 points per target because we can't do targets.
0 points per target.
That was almost halfway the linchpin of what I was going to do this year. It was very frustrating.
Yes,
very frustrating.
So sorry for the delay. There's clearly a reason, folks. It happened.
I tried to calibrate quickly that night, and it just wasn't meshing. And then I had family stuff that night, and I was gone all day yesterday. So we decided to come back today and do it. Russ, how are you coming on those names to give something away?
Is that a positive or a negative number?
43 names typed so far.
When do we get to start showing some of the merch that's going to be at the live drafts for all the live drafters?
The guy who's typing has
when they show up.
I know. I don't want to send Russ away to go get it, but I'm like,
no. When they show up at the live draft, you got to go there to see it.
There's no preview for the people that tune in on YouTube. Really feel
I mean, after we're done with this, I can go. I can grab something.
I can think of.
All right, we are all going to live drafts.
Bob says no. Bob says no.
If you could go to a live draft that you are not going to this year, which one would it be?
Sao Paulo, Hawaii, Lithuania, London,
Barcelona,
Barcelona. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you restricting us only to the U.S.? Continental United States only.
Yeah, let's take away Hawaii and international, and let's go.
Oh man, I mean, Mexico and Vancouver would be fun too, to be honest. All right, so continental U.S. only. Chicago, I think would be very, very, very fun. I'm not going there. I know that's going to be a big one, and I know Steven's I trust Steven's going to throw a very fun event. So
yeah,
I think Chicago would be up there. Denver for probably like the weather that time of year. I would enjoy a little break from the Cincinnati humidity in July. Instead, I'm going to Florida in July for one.
Yeah. I want to go to Minnesota just so I could be closer to Scott.
Oh well, yeah. I kind of threw that one out there because Scott's on the screen. I wasn't going to choose the other ones that were going. I mean, I have already the amount of beer that I'm going to have. If I ever show up at a Minnesota one.
Oh my gosh, they're ready for you.
You think me showing up at the expo with a trunk? I'm bringing the minivan. And I'm showing up with Cincinnati beer, and I'm trading with everybody from there. So
let me just double check to make sure. I caught up. I'm typed. I just need to. I realized I didn't double check to make sure I didn't get any names in twice, which I'm glad I thought of.
Tell you what, Kansas City is. Kansas City's climbing. That's it. Yeah. I think Kansas City is going to be a fun event. Yep. They're all going to be fun. Let's be honest. Like none of these are going to be not fun times. I'm just thinking like environments and the amount of people at a lot of them. I know some of the how some of the prizes that the coordinators are getting together and stuff.
Yep. Like, that's the answer. Go to the places that you know the prizes you want.
There's going to be some fun. Every place is going to have some really fun prizes.
Speaking of,
we're giving away. Let's see that book. Yeah, this is going to be a prize at every live event. Every live event, you're going to. Oh, sorry. Every U.S. live event, you are going to have a chance to win what Russ is now giving away, courtesy of again Bob Lung. Thank you very much, Bob Lung.
Bob Lung, Bob Lung, Bob Lung.
Yes, go follow him on Twitter, folks. Definitely worth the follow. And way more.
Is it going to be Kevin or Chris? Kevin or Chris? Kevin Williamson.
Kevin Williamson. That's Kev says, right? Or is
Congratulations.
That's SSN Kevin. Kevin Williamson. He's a Cincinnati live drafter, I think.
Ooh. Well, you can just bring it to him then.
He can get it signed. Bob is drafting live in Cincinnati, so he can get it autographed.
See, I love that Kevin just says yes, even though you said like six people he could possibly be.
I said two because there's two Kevins that are extremely active in our community, and it took me just a second.
All right, well, if you're going to be drafting in Cincinnati,
there are two or three other Kevins just pissed right now. I'm just kidding.
Oh, there's two or three other Kevins that are less active. Cotillo. Nice. Remember that, Kevin?
That still exists?
Yes.
He does. His Twitter account got hacked, so it's not a
I don't even know who you're talking about, so I don't think I know who you're talking about.
All right, so
let's do scoring.
Drop it. Russ, do you want to click the button? I'll click the button. I'll click the button.
How could I mess up Kevin Williamson? Looking in the chat now, he's even got the Ethan Hunt logo.
There it is. There it is.
Drum roll. Too late. No claps. All right, applause. Bob is the button hitter. There's got to be an applause button.
Where's the button hitter? We should have done that. We should have done some kind of button hit. Oh, there's this. We can tell the chat's excited. Whole lot of finalies.
It's fired up.
Yeah.
Hold on. There's a button. This is called feeding the ducks.
What? Oh, stop this. This is not what this show is about. Us. Oh my god.
We're feeding the ducks, everybody.
Edibles
feeding the ducks. This is just us feeding the ducks, everybody.
What are you doing? Oh, Scott, try and get the show back on the rails, please.
I don't know that it's savable after that, salvageable after that.
So touchdowns.
Touchdowns are 6, except for special teams, because Ian and John convinced me 10 points was a good thing to do for return touchdowns, and I like it. I think I was leaning there. I think I was liking it, but John pushed us over the edge.
You can go back and look, folks. I said I think that sounds fun, and that was the argument it took.
That's all it took. Yep.
I'm going to take a drink.
No negatives. We're staying positive. We're being positive once again. No negatives again. Kickers stayed the same as last year. They didn't have much in effect. In fact, the effect was Sleeper had 2 more people into the playoffs than they should have by ratio, and they averaged more points per game, just barely, like just under a point, like 0.7 points per game. So clearly the kickers, it's one of those things. I think John and I, we've talked about it, how a setting logically should do something and the data says it should probably do something, but you can't ever account for the variable of how users are going to use that. And that played in with kickers.
If you have a chance to draft a kicker, they become a very nice floor. Just saying, when you're starting 11, folks, the last 2 or 3 being kickers, not terrible.
My injury-ridden wide receivers from last season, thank you for dropping the starting requirements.
Oh, that my Lord. Rough. Yes. If people didn't notice on the top, we're going 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end. 0 kickers on MFL, 1 kicker on Sleeper, 1 super flex, and 6 RB wide receiver tight end flexes on MFL, 5 on Sleeper because that has.
So we can't flex kickers on MFL.
You can flex kickers on MFL.
I think you need
That doesn't say that.
Oh, that doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Quick update.
Yeah. Nobody look.
We didn't see this. Oh my goodness. We'll be back in 2 days for the actual announcement, folks. Sorry. Scott's going to live update this for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't flex
Sleeper
kickers.
is limited to 1,000.
To 1,000, yes. Oops.
Oh, I'm on the wrong. There we go. I have 2 computers open, if people can't tell. So I just have to put up the correct one again.
Oh, sorry, Faith. If you want kickers to be a requirement, that's a glitch in using multiple platforms. That's how it goes.
Yeah, there's even the scoring. The data providers are different. So every once in a while, with the first down scoring, you see a little twinge of a difference. I have it in the rules that it basically never comes into effect, and when it does, like with 4,000 teams or whatever we have this year, it's barely going to do anything. So it's not worth noting, but yes, Scott, I am absolutely positive because I had Sleeper add that setting about 3 years ago.
Yeah. That was the last time they changed the scoring setting option.
Yeah, they added 5.
Okay, we have 89 people watching, and there's 3 of us on the screen. How many people can say, I've had a platform make them change the way they score?
I mean, I know I've put in suggestions to MFL that have been implemented, but I don't know that it was necessarily because of me.
I just love that Scott can easily drop. I made them add that.
Yeah.
It is something I wanted. I wanted it, so.
And it worked.
I told them.
Oh, the good old days.
The good old days. It was honestly very awesome of them to. Yeah. They were all in on SFB that year, and they were very cool about it. It was awesome. And they've been cool. They've been cool to me the whole time. I shouldn't say that year. They've always been very cool to me. So I'm just gonna reshare this. I updated a little. I actually just moved some things around a little bit. It's the same thing. It looks the same. So you might have noticed return yards as well, 1 point per 5 yards, because Ian thought it would be fun if they're extremely valuable, those returners. I did not account for Rashid Shaheed being a top 15 or so wide receiver. But
Dooter doodle. She's definitely taking Rashid Shaheed in the first round. Like that's going to be her first pick.
Oh, when I tweet out this scoring, I'm going to tag Cooter Doodle and with Rashid Shaheed's rank because she will really enjoy that. Yeah,
you're going to see the Modelo pick.
Another thing I did that I don't even feel comfortable doing. I don't love that I did. But I made 1 point per 50 yards for passing. I wanted to drop the quarterbacks down a bit so that people consider flexing other options. They're more in the same range as other players. I've wanted for a long time to nerf running back or rushing quarterback scoring just for fun, because the footballers have constantly told me I should do that. But, one of the 2 platforms can't exactly do that. So I love Sleeper. Like my home league's on Sleeper. I love Sleeper. It's just limited on a little bit of that. That's fine though. Like we're making it. We're gonna have a fun league. We got the settings we want. It's good. What else we got here that's different? Oh, we have tiered receptions this year. 0.5 for running backs, 1 for wide receivers, 1.5 for tight ends. This came in because targets got pulled out. Unfortunately, it made wide receivers a little stronger than I wanted to make them this year. But Russ is happy with that. Wide receiver lovers everywhere are happy with that. And
Ryan finally is going to talk to you again.
Yeah. Ryan will like it.
He will now return your calls. Wide receivers are important again.
Yes. Was that it the whole time? He never told me what was wrong.
Oh yeah, he used to tell me all the time. It's all because Scott hates wide receivers.
He would just say like, "It's fine, it's fine." That's all I would get from him. I didn't understand why Ryan was mad at me anymore.
Think how many Commish Pod episodes we could have had, folks.
I know. We had one last week. We got another one dropping this week. Go subscribe. Commission Impossible. Find it on whatever you find podcasts on. Nice little plug. What else we got here? So tight ends get an extra point per first down. So if you're tracking that closely at home, tight ends get 1.5 points per first down and 1.5 points per reception. So if they get a 10-yard reception, that's a 4-point play. I got my mathing on that.
I'm not even gonna try. I'll just say, yeah, you did great.
Andrew Cooper, who is not in here, probably is just ecstatic about that. But
so as someone who happens to be drafting from the 101,
I used to be.
What should I do?
John moved back.
Moved back.
He moved. John got a preview of the scoring and he moved back.
I know. I was a little nervous to do it, but I was like, the 104 spot's open in Bell. I'm taking it. I'm out. What you should do at the 101, Russ, is trade back.
Trades? Trade back.
That is the other thing that is in SFB. Still no trading. But Russ, you can trade your draft slot right now.
Yeah, but I don't want to change my division and it's full.
It's 3 RR.
Oh, yeah. Can't do that.
Third round reversal and Superflex are back. Yep, those are back.
Did you run the numbers, Scott? Did you look at do you have a report on the top, whatever it was, the positional breakdown?
I did. I don't have it on my thing right now, but wide receivers were much more powerful than I wanted. I do remember that. I
gotta believe elite level tight ends are up there.
They still are. I have it here on my other computer. I just gotta open it. Yeah,
it's very true, Corbin, because if I'm going to take Kelsey or Allen, I don't have to do it at the 101.
We ended with 4 tight ends in the top 18. So Kelsey landed at 7. He was the highest, but 4 tight ends in the top 18.
How high was McCaffrey?
1 overall in this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and not even by a little. He was 1 overall by about 46 points or 42 points or something. But I mean, he had an unbelievable year. So
interesting.
Yeah,
it is going to be interesting. I think we are set up for a year where, again, I don't think there's a clear 101. I mean, Josh Allen, obviously, people are going to like that.
Yep.
There's probably going to be fans of Hurts and Lamar and Mahomes.
Yep.
There's going to be a Kelsey camp. There's probably going to be a not Kelsey tight end camp.
Oh, Laporta is absolutely going to be getting some bids for the 101.
Yep. Laporta, McCaffrey, pretty easy argument.
You
only have to start one running back. Wouldn't it be nice if it was Christian McCaffrey every week?
I would. That'd be great for me when I do the wrap up shows where I could just not have to change the logo.
Yeah. That answer is 5, Robert. So 4 tight ends, 5 quarterbacks.
That's half the top 18 by my math.
1, 2, 3, 4
and Rashid
backs, and 5 wide receivers.
How many Rashid Shaheeds in the top 18?
Rashid Shaheed, I'm going to find where Shaheed came in at 27 overall.
Oh, 0 Rashid Shaheeds in the top 18. Dang it.
Redo it. Start over.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. Yeah. Start over.
Rashid Shaheed in week 2 last week scored 45.7 points in this format. But
yeah, stop it, Burn. Yeah, maybe Kyle Pitts should get some. No, he's not your first round pick.
This will make it interesting for the Jaden Daniels, Anthony Richardson, etc. type hype trains. Is that passing yards are half what they were last year.
So rushing yards are more valuable than
rushing yards stayed the same, but by default,
So the ballers told you to nerf QB rushing yards, and instead
they've told me for years. We had dinner at FTK in Vegas like 3 years ago, and they were trying to push me on it. It's
you heard that and went the exact opposite direction.
Oh no, I've wanted to, but yeah, this one, the opposite. Jason and Mike want it. Andy would be against it though. At least back then.
I mean, do you want to speak to this one again, Scott?
Yeah, probably should, because there's going to need to be an answer.
Yeah, we have 2 years of data that shows that not only is Sleeper not disadvantaged, they actually had a slight advantage both years. The first year was 1 point per extra point and 0.1 per field goal yard, and Sleeper had the advantage. Last year was this exact scoring, and they maintained the advantage still. I get it. The logic says it should be a big advantage. The data shows the first year it shouldn't have been an advantage. Last year it showed it should have been an advantage. It wasn't, because users play the way they want to play, and some people just don't like kickers. So
draft kickers, people.
Yeah, it ends up not
play to the scoring system and settings you have in front of you.
We will see. I mean, maybe this is the year that more people figure out, oh, they are a good base at the bottom.
They won't.
Oh, yeah. I usually leave the draft with 3 kickers.
Yeah, I can tell you, people have. Yeah, the data the last 2 years has shown, and the scoring, this exact kicking scoring, Sleeper had the advantage somehow. Somehow. I think what it might be is that on Sleeper you're forced to start a kicker, and on NFL the people that are anti-kicker don't start them to their detriment. I think that might be why.
The answer is on the screen, Jeff.
Yeah.
0.5 for kicker. It's on there.
I love that he put kicker there for receptions.
Yeah.
Above the running backs, obviously. In the tier of positions, quarterback, and kicker, pretty important, and then there's running back. So,
I mean, this is it's this reason that I think Sleeper still maintained that ever so slight advantage.
And that's fine. Like, if people just want to do that out of principle,
there
will be others that will do it out.
Here's the reason I love
fantasy football. Play to the scoring. It's a game.
Yeah, I do love the other side of it, is that because of how it's set up, Adam C can do that. He can do that. He can draft around it and do that. Play the way you want to play. But John's right. If you want to be more successful, probably play to the scoring.
I mean,
successful.
At least start by reading the scoring and the settings. Like, that's usually step one to success in a fantasy league. Some people don't do that, and I really wonder what the correlation between not reading the scoring and the settings and just a season that never goes anywhere. I bet it's fairly high.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I would say, especially among people who have played several times, they keep an eye to it, but they kind of just, I can see that happening. I can absolutely see that happening. I would also not doubt that there's someone who gets in and they don't realize that it's not just your basic stuff. So maybe not though.
Oh, no, there's definitely people. There were people last year that I know messaged me after week 1, and they're like, hey, did you know the scoring was this? And I'm, yes. That's why I took Kelsey at the 101. So, yes, I did. Didn't work out, whatever. But, so, obviously, I shouldn't have wasted time.
Process over results, man. Process over results.
Yes. I did it too. I did it too. I started with Kelsey at 101 as well.
I went with Mahomes. I couldn't do it. And the week 14 bye for Allen and Hurts was too much for me to bear, so I couldn't take them. I went with Mahomes at the 101 last year.
Yeah.
That's why I moved to the 104. I don't have to make the decision now.
Guess what Patrick Mahomes ranked in this scoring last year?
16.
34th.
He ranked QB6, 20 overall.
Ooh.
Now, a lot of people mention he had a little bit of an off year at times. It was a slow start, especially.
Yeah, this is a good point, Jeff. So, I mean, satellites, obviously, the actual satellite tournament probably won't have it, but the mirror leagues and stuff like that, we'll use the same scoring settings and stuff, right, Scott?
Yep.
So mirror leagues will be the same scoring. Yep. What else do we have on scoring? Yeah, anybody in the chat have direct questions? You have Scott right now.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Now is a great time. It is the same playoff setup. That's a good question.
It's the same playoff setup. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's pretty much the same. Yeah. I mean, it's the same exact setup. The amount of people who advance each round will, obviously be altered for the new numbers.
The 75,000 people that get in this year. Yeah. Okay.
We're still going. We're still inviting tons of people. I think we got a couple huge waves left in us. All right.
So the playoffs start week 12.
Yep.
Right. Okay. And it'll be the same where, like you get whatever your score from your average or whatever it was from last year.
Yep. You get your average for the first 3 weeks of the playoffs because there's buys.
Yeah.
Week 12, there's actually no buys. It's Thanksgiving, but it feels weird to not get your average, then get it for 2 weeks, then not get it again. So,
yeah, I don't think it did hurt as much. I think you're right, Zach. I mean, that's the reason that he put it in and the way he scored it. But yeah, I didn't see it really. I didn't see anybody say like, "Oh, that's the reason I was out." It was because I had a bye week. Because usually they had pretty good averages going into it.
Yep.
2 years ago, I got screwed over by Jonathan Taylor's bye week. I think that was like the week before playoffs started.
Could have been.
Both count. Punt and kick.
New special teams rules in the NFL this year. We're gonna have some fun watching those kicks this year.
Yep. Yeah. So what would you, if you, now that John, are you okay saying what spot you took?
Oh yeah, I already said I moved to the 104. Yeah, I feel really good about that because I am very happy to have Kelsey. He would probably still be my 101, but if he goes anywhere in the top 3, and let's say Mahomes or Allen or CMC falls to me, that's probably the 4 that I'm looking at with this setup. Is one of those 4. Okay. I don't care which one of those 4 I get, and whoever I get, it'll determine what I do the next time it comes around. And with it being 3RR, it gives me a little bit of an advantage over that 101. If I had a really strong feeling over who I wanted at the 101, I wouldn't have made the swap. But I made the swap because I like all 4 of those.
Yeah.
If I don't get Kelsey, there's going to be a good tight end for me to get at the the 2. What is that, like the 209?
Yep.
And then also at the 309, I'm going to have a pick. So I'll be able to fill the tight end slot there. If I get Kelsey at 104, I'm probably going to be able to get a couple of quarterbacks that I like at the 209 and the 309. I have not done any mocks yet because I didn't feel the need to do a mock until I knew.
Before you knew the scoring, yeah.
The scoring is important. Don't get me wrong. The lineup setting is very important. I don't really ever want to take a running back early. I think there is definitely merit to getting your one this. Instead of this is a hero RB year now. For me in SFB, get that one that's important, and then you don't have to worry about any of the other ones.
Might just take CMC 1 overall and then not draft another running back till round 14.
Yeah. Just from the not having to worry about it, and you just stockpile wide receivers and kickers then. Stockpile wide receivers and stockpile kickers late, but just stockpile wide receivers after you've taken your one running back. So I think there's a lot of different pathways you can go. I do. There's a reason that I switched. Yep. And I mean, you could have switched up the scoring, but I think you were pretty pretty set in it. I did worry, like, oh, I shouldn't do this because then people are gonna be like, why is John now in here?
Yeah,
he knows something. And I mean, yeah, I did, but
yeah.
At the same time, everybody knew it because we all saw what you put out there. Like it wasn't the only thing that really got the change was, the targets went away.
Yep.
So, based on the scoring we showed the other day, it made a lot of sense, and I like it. I mean, I think with the lineup this year, it gives you so much freedom on how to attack it.
Yep.
The lineup
people can still change right now. Like if you're in a slow draft, you can still change right now. Yep. More waves to come. I guarantee we're going to invite at least 600 more people.
Oh my gosh! I'm not sharing my screen
right now.
No, you're not. After that, after the 600, I'm not sure how many more we will, but it's going to be at least 600 more if I'm looking at the numbers right. I wouldn't be shocked if we do 1,000 more, but 600 more for sure.
Do you have a counter up this year? In the past, you've had the percentage or whatever.
I do it. Well, you have access to it, but it's.
I know I have access, but in the past,
access.
I thought at one point you had like a bar, and like people, even if you don't put a number on it, put the bar with no number so people can try and figure out how far it works. I definitely yes, I have access to it. I even with the access, I don't know the final number, folks. I am not kidding you when I say that. Last year, the final number changed like a day after the draft started. So
I do not have I annoy everybody every year with my not having a final number until basically the final. You're right. I think it did change after the draft started even.
It was 3,300 and then it ended at 3,324, I think.
Yep.
So
you're right. It did.
Hey, it works out.
Corbin, lineup greater than scoring for sure.
They're both important.
I'm not gonna lie. I honestly considered doing last year's everything, upping special teams and changing the lineup and calling it. I thought about just doing that. I didn't, but I thought about just doing that.
That would have been a fun way to give a little comparison of how important just a simple lineup shift. I don't think people realize it that because everybody thinks, well, I'm just going to play the same players anyways.
Yep.
No,
but if you prepare differently and you set yourself up differently, you don't just play the same players. And I mean, this really does being able to flex a bunch of wide receivers. That's how you should draft. They just you hit on the right ones and they become the reliable starters. I mean,
you're right.
Also, again, like this protects you from injuries so much. Like I was complaining before, like I was like wheeling people in wheelchairs into my startup in wide receivers because of all my wide receivers kept getting hurt, and because you had to start 3 of them. But while I'm sitting there with 2 starting running backs on my bench because I could only start so many, because you have to, like now you don't have to. Like this is, I mean, this is my
throw in a kicker. Just throw another kicker in that lineup.
Like this is how I run all of my leagues. The 1 minimum and the rest of it is 1 super flex and the rest flex.
Mine are either all this, the 1-1-1-1, or there's 0 at the beginning.
Yep.
And I it took me a while to start liking the 0 as much as I like the 1-1-1. But once I made the switch over to that, I kind of the only reason all my leagues aren't that is because I think other people don't like it in the same way and or hesitant in the same way I was. But once you try it, like, man, I truly don't need any position. Like all I'm looking for is the pieces that fit into my starting lineup. It doesn't matter what position they play. So if I want to go out, I don't go out looking for a quarterback or a running back or a wide receiver. Yeah. I go out looking for a 15-point per week scorer. Like it opens up the trading options, not in SFB because we don't have trading in SFB, but from a general league discussion standpoint, it just makes it so much freer to trade because your market is so much bigger. It's so fun.
Yep.
I know people like regular now.
A previous point you made, you're absolutely right. It would have been a really, really fun comparison. I think and I thought about that. I really did. And then I thought, I think I landed on changing up a few more things like the tiered receptions and stuff, just because I didn't want people using last year's work and just like calling it a day, like I wanted people to
that's true.
Re-dig into the scoring. So that's why I ended up changing it.
That's a good point because people do put a lot of time and effort into producing content around SFB scoring, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Charlene, depending on your live, I know there's a couple lives that are doing fun things with their draft orders. Most of them are just staying how they are, but a couple of them are planning some fun things for their draft orders. So
Cincinnati is no fun people.
Minnesota is no fun people as well, as far as I know, unless Greg is planning. I think Greg was going to keep it the same as well.
Look, if we had 1 or 2 drafts going on, I can understand maybe taking on the more fun things. 6 drafts, nope, we're no fun.
We have a lot we're doing already.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for many other reasons.
So. I'm very glad that I'm going to live drafts, but not actually drafting at them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. I'm just going to sit back and there and watch Zach and critique him the entire time I'm in Orlando. Yep. Don't tell him I said that though.
Yeah, yeah, Zach, cover your ears when he just said that.
Critique of the whole
earmuffs.
You can say anything you want, like, nope.
I'm sure someone will have this soon, Andrew, potentially.
Yeah, I would say we see these things over the weekend, if not by the end of the night.
I know
there are definitely people out there spreadsheet warrioring their way to finding out the projected scoring, and I know that like Byrne did something for the eliminators based on Mike Clay projections. That was very, very cool. I have no doubt there will be people that take like Mike Clay projections, convert it to SFB scoring, and put out that kind of thing. And that is awesome when people do it. It's very cool. Yep.
I know some sites, FTN had SFB scoring rankings and projections. My Fantasy Life did. I'm trying to Player Profiler did. I think RotoViz did too. A bunch of them do it now. So,
and a lot of them give it away for free, or they just, they suggest make a donation to Fantasy Cares and in exchange for it, which is awesome. Like, we totally appreciate that. I have no idea what that is, Jeff. I didn't know there were drafts in Columbus tomorrow. What are the drafts? Or he does say the drafts. I thought maybe Jeff was asking me to come up for a beer.
That's what he's talking about, like the drafts, right? The draft beers.
Oh,
draft beers.
I don't know. I don't have anything on my schedule, football or beer drinking wise tomorrow. I don't think. I believe it's unscheduled pool and draft time because it's supposed to be a nice day.
Wow, Alan Hepworth, how dare you?
What happened?
No, what did
just
happen?
dropped out of the 101s. What have you done, John? What have you done?
I love it. Did you see how I left at least since I am in the Bell division? Like I had that was the perfect gift. Bell jumping off the wagon and just going and walking into the store. But of course, in my case, it was my 101s. Hello, 104s. It's so fun. What a way to leave. I like when I can find the right movie gif to pair up with something like that. Alan went to the 103s.
Yep, that was nice.
There's going to be some 101 opens spot.
Luckily,
what division?
You know what? That gives us one more spot to someone who wants to be with us.
There you go. We should mention, by the way, if you are changing your division based on your own decision, like that's your choice. You're definitely welcome to order another Abby. Like, feel free to donate again and get a new Abby. That's for sure. For now, until Abby's get shut down, because there's a lot of people that want Abby's.
Yeah, we got 10-ish days left of Abby orders.
I guess Hep can do whatever he wants because he's one of the ones making the Abbies, so he can go to whatever division without any fear of having to get a different Abby for sure.
And Roger, I'll be in Philly.
The She's All That division with me and Ian, all the spots are open. So Ian and I could just move around wherever we wanted.
I was shocked how many, like I looked at how many were open in Bell because, again, I saw it from 101 to 104. We'll keep beating that dead horse. I had my choice. I was like, "Whoa, this is great. I can really go wherever I want just about." I really thought about the 112 also. I don't think I've ever done that side in SFB. And I feel like this year with the scoring, there's probably 12 players I'd feel real good about. Probably 13 I'd feel good about. Probably 3 out of 25. Like getting 3 out of 25 feels really powerful in this scoring.
Yeah.
I might not be done moving. I might talk myself into taking a shot at the 112 this year.
That is a really good point.
I just like making my pick and then getting to rest for a while. I like making the 101, getting the just exact player that I sort of feel convinced should be the first pick, and then just being like,
making that 101 pick. How many hours into the clock, Russ?
As I got 8 hours, and I can do whatever I want with them.
You do not have 8 hours with the 101. I promise you that.
Yeah, we will get on you at 4.
Yeah, there will be alarms and fonts will turn red, and
yeah.
You will get angry messages.
Watch that. That's once everybody's out of the first round, we are very, very happy in the back end of things.
You try and boot me, and you see what happens.
That is like the best thing when the final division drafts the 112 in that 112 pick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is. For years, Scott did it all by himself, and he's a madman. But now he at least lets others of us, pitch in and monitor and nudge people along. It's so nice when that first round wraps up for every division.
It's so
I feel like last year was pretty fast. I mean,
yeah,
I think
I think it might have been the best year we've ever had.
Yeah, I think people are starting to realize that you don't have to take your time in the first round. Let's go. Let's get through here. Make sure, because I mean, if you do, you risk. There's ways that we make sure these drafts move along. If you end up being the person that, there were probably people that got removed last year that never showed up and never made their pick.
Oh,
and if you don't make your first round pick, you're gone.
Yep.
Oh,
right?
Yep. Yeah. We are not lenient on the first round thing.
No, I didn't know how much I should stress that, but yeah, Scott is not lenient at all about that. That's a bad move if you are in that first round and you're not making your pick. I promise you, folks.
Has Ian seen She's All That, or did you just drag him along? I dragged him along, but it went from an internet joke to a family joke. I get made fun of it.
It plays on a loop in the Fish house. How could Ian not have seen it? Scott has a room and a TV dedicated to just She's All That playing at all times on physical media because Joey said he had to.
Yeah. The weird part is the speakers go into the bathrooms, all of them.
Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious in my house. Lady Boggs. 14 kickers made the top 100 in this scoring last year. 14 of the top 100. That's 14%.
That's math.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I don't think
Look
we
what
have
you
anything
did.
else to
You
do,
summoned him, John.
I know. I didn't even have to say it 3 times, just once.
Oh yeah, no. You say it once and he's here.
Physical media.
My youngest made a joke about that one when I was ordering the Beetlejuice shirt for my wife. She goes, "Don't say his name 3 times."
Oh, better not do it.
I, of course, then did. And then I said Candyman 3 times, too, by the way. I still survived.
Monster.
I know.
Was it to try to...
She slept on our floor that night, but it was worth it.
Did you want to watch them fight? Say both of them 3 times and have them fight.
Do you think they'd fight, or do you think they'd be like, "Hey, so you get summoned anytime, says your name 3 times? Isn't it really annoying?" I think they would bond over that. Imagine if all of a sudden you're transported somewhere because somebody says your name 3 times into a mirror or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's so annoying. Like if you're really hungry, about to take a bite of pizza or something, and just you're gone.
Well,
I think I'd be pretty pissed about it too. I can understand why they show up a little angry. I mean, people make them out to be a villain or evil or bad.
He just doesn't like being inconvenient.
You're disrupting their peace. How do you expect them to react? Oh, thanks for calling me. Here's some flowers. Can I do anything for? Nah, come on. Candyman wasn't the bad guy. I'm guessing. I'm coming around.
You started a trend out there, John, of moving to 104. You're
coming out
of the bad.
Oh no, this is good. Now I'm going back. Don't tell him. I'm going to go back to the 101. I just wanted to clear out all the other 101s from the chat. Yes, there were some people in there who was getting too overloaded. Just wanted to, are you serious? Are there people actually moving?
Well,
yeah. Did you look at Jeff Bell right here? Jeff Bell moved.
Nice.
I don't actually track. I don't track division change movements. I feel like that would destroy me to try to track all that.
That might destroy the website.
I had the chat open and it just saw Alan H left. That's the only reason I knew that happened.
Yeah, I'm not in that chat anymore, so I can't monitor it.
I mean, Retro Coach, try it. I encourage you to try it.
It can't hurt. I mean, it really can't hurt.
Did I tell you that's my wife's least favorite shirt?
The Beetlejuice? Oh,
it's my name.
I like the.
Like she doesn't want to have a shirt
yeah.
with just my name, basically.
I get that. I can see that from her.
Yeah.
I liked how the fish was hidden in the
the tombstone
in the little graphic. Oh, it's so good.
There you go. Jeff just bounced from this.
There's no one in the 101 chat anymore.
We are dwindling.
All right, Scott's gonna readjust the scoring for tomorrow now.
I actually think John's not wrong in that the 101 Christian McCaffrey becomes an interesting choice if he has a similar-ish year. How he scored so much more, and you just play hero running back and don't care about running back for the rest of the draft at that point.
And I might get him at the 104. I can get him at the 104 and be fine. Or let's say I don't. Kelsey, Hurts, Allen.
Yeah,
like those are the only four I'm really considering right now.
Yeah, no Lamar.
Maybe it is Lamar. Maybe I'll have to double check. It might have been Lamar.
I mean,
over Hurts.
He might be 5. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good top 5.
Maybe I should be dropping down to 105. I probably really need to just be like, exactly like how far
could I go and still get a guy I really want?
Because I mean, there probably is some merit to Kelsey not finishing as the tight end 1. So if you can really wait and feel like you can nail that tight end and you can get the tight end 1 somewhere later, that's pretty powerful. I don't know that you could get Christian McCaffrey anywhere outside of the top 5. I feel like he's definitely going to be in the top 5. Some people will take Mahomes. Mahomes will sneak in there near the top, I would think.
Yeah.
Just because, he's Mahomes. And I get that.
Mahomes, and people realize last year was just an all-time bad year for him. Or not all-time bad. Well, it might have been. I'm not sure if it was his worst or not, but it was not great.
There's no way you're going to get Mahomes Kelsey to stack. Josh Allen, I don't know that there's really receivers there that maybe Kincaid. I wonder where you could probably get Kincaid if you take Josh Allen high in the first. I wonder if you're 309, 310. That could be interesting. A Josh Allen Kincaid stack.
I think you could pretty easily stack three Lions too. I think you could get Laporta, Goff.
Do you think Laporta? I think Laporta goes before Goff, though, right?
Oh, I think Laporta, Amon-Ra are like a back corner type of thing.
Oh yeah,
and then try to get Goff.
People are going to go after Laporta. What?
Yeah, like the 112 and the 113. Get those two, and then try and get Goff at the.
Yeah,
it would be the 201 and the 301.
Yeah, hope that.
I wonder if Goff could be a 412. I mean, if Goff falls to 412, that would be pretty powerful.
People are going to be high on the rushing quarterbacks, and with all the quarterbacks being pulled down, more wide receivers up high. That's another thing I was kind of hoping to do with the quarterback being pulled down is every year I get this, 14 quarterbacks went in the first 17 picks and stuff like, people talk about that. I'm like, let's see if we can change that a little bit for this year. I had 12 quarterbacks gone in the first round and a half. Yeah.
Hep, I love MFL. I love MFL. You know that. One thing I don't trust is their projection. I don't think Kincaid falls to the 114 in SFB drafting.
Not in this. Not when a 10-yard first down reception gets a tight end 4 points. That
you're not stacked. You're probably not getting AJ Brown if you go Hurts early. Like AJ Brown not making it to the end of the second. I'm guessing in this. I'm just trying to think who are the best quarterbacks? There's no Lamar Andrews. Could you maybe do that? Maybe Lamar like the 105 and Andrews halfway through the second. Mm-hmm. That would be.
Andrews falling would be interesting. Like he would have to fall a little bit to be able to get taken by the because you'll probably get Lamar at like the 105.
That's what I'm saying. The 105 and like the 207.
Yeah.
Is that how the numbers work? That is me a little interesting.
I mean, it's still super flex, so I wonder if a Hill Tua stack is possible in this.
Well, probably like Tua's going to fall. I mean, Tua doesn't rush.
Tua doesn't run.
Oh yeah, Hill would be the first of them. I'm just saying.
I think you could go Hill Waddle, much like you talked about the Lions. I think you could do Hill Waddle and get Tua. You could do the super stack.
I wonder how much quarterbacks are going to drop in this.
Did I know people did like attack that way kind of for SFB a little bit last year, because there is that mentality that when you make it to the finals, you need to have that score, just like in, the underdog best balls and things like that. Did anybody actually do a follow-up at the end to see how things went with I don't think it was as common as the way as attacking like an underdog draft, but I mean, there definitely is merit to being able to stack up a game stack for week 17. And I mean, we all know, we could ask folks, hey, who's the week 17 matchup for this team? And they all know that off the top of their head. And
I don't
if you
know
ask them who's their third wide receiver, they might not know that answer. But the week 17, man, game stacks are
interesting.
This is how I'm trying to figure out my draft spot. I'm doing it live on the air, folks.
I am not changing anything for anything.
The 104 might not be my final spot. I'm already kind of convinced myself that I think I could go to the 105 and feel good.
I've done the 101 or 112 every year for nearly a decade now.
I think I've done the 101 like 3 years in a row.
This is my second year in a row.
It might even be the entire time, because I'm doing so much stuff. I want to pick and have but I don't know. This year I might not. And we have so many people helping out. Just Chalk helps, Hap helps, Justin helps, Matt helps, John helps, Ryan helps. I'm in there. Like, we got such a good team that maybe I'll consider something else this year. I think we're going to potentially do something fun for me and Ian in my division. So those 10 other spots are up for grabs still. We'll see what we do with it.
Ooh, Franco's got a. Yeah, I don't think CD goes at 105, but I haven't seen like the actual projections.
Okay, so Dak was QB4 in this last year. So it's like, I think you'd almost have to do Dak.
You'd have to take Dak in the first and hope I think they're both going to. They see, that's the thing. I think we've already mentioned more than 12 names going in the first round. Like, they can't all go in the first 12 picks, but that's how you know this is pretty good scoring and settings, because there's going to be
draft
Dak. If Dak should be a first round pick, but he doesn't run the ball, so no, he should not be a first round pick. So
but apparently he's the QB4.
I would not be shocked if Anthony Richardson, who is nowhere on this, from last year, is taken in the first round in some of these.
Yeah, I mean, people are definitely going to pump up the running quarterbacks with quarter point per carry and half what you normally get for passing yards.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to pump up the rushing quarterbacks. Josh Allen's good. I mean, like Hurts, you get that extra quarter point every time they go for it with 1 yard to go. Like, it's an automatic quarter point. Here you go.
Do they keep doing it without Kelsey?
Unless it failed, they're going to keep doing it. It's a matter of if it's successful, they're going to just continue to do it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do some SFB mocks now.
Oh, I definitely want to do. I want to do them from a few different positions, like draft positions, to see what I can build. And that's part of the problem with the mocks, is people are testing things. But that's also part of the good thing about the mocks, is you get to test things. You just can't always rely on, that's how it went in the mock. That's how it's going to go here.
Never does.
It definitely never goes that way, because then you end up half your divisions hasn't even looked at the scoring settings.
And then you have people like me that just ignore it anyway and just
you throw so many wild cards in there. How far back could I go?
I think I'm just going to auction off my picks.
We probably
the most can make my pick.
We've gone live for almost an hour. Yeah, Lindsay's been tweeting out about the scorings and settings. I just saw. She's awesome. She comes to LA live. I met her last year in person. Very awesome. She's awesome.
She was looking for a heads up on the scoring. Nobody could give it to her because literally Scott finished this about 5 minutes before we went live.
Right, exactly. No, I might go on. I was chatting with her in DMs like a day or two ago, and sounds like I might go on next week sometime, potentially, to chat about it.
I don't think Kyler's making it to the third, Gregles. Sorry.
Ooh, Marvin Harrison at the 111. Oh, that feels like it would be high, but I could see it if you think you could build that stack. I don't know that it would. Kyler, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where some quarterbacks fall.
I can't
because there's going to be people that want more wide receivers now, and there's a lot of good wide receivers, like a lot. And you have to get that elite tight end,
which is why I want to running back, quarterback, wide receivers, with a quarterback thrown in there also.
I don't know if you can. I mean, you at the 101 can pigeonhole your first pick, but I don't know that you can pigeonhole and say I have to come out with running back, quarterback.
No. But like ideally, like just filling most of the top 7 rounds with wide receivers.
Yeah, and then the last 7 rounds with kickers, of course.
The last 7 rounds of kickers, if they're available, maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year.
I mean, I in the Bell division, I can tell you, folks, I am not taking a wide receiver 6 off of somebody's team. We draft 22 players. Like, this is way deeper than your typical 16-person roster.
Yep.
Like, there's some of the players that we end up drafting don't make teams.
Yep.
So take a kicker.
And I feel like I don't go off over a few of these things about SFB as much as I probably should, but I do sometimes. Where the 22 rounds, 22 players, that is because in the early days of this, maybe it'd be different, but in the early days of this, analysts were so busy that I wanted to minimize the workload. I would have it in July in a dead period, so all the analysts who were busy in August could draft. I made the rosters deep so they didn't have to do waivers as much in season. I kind of tailored it to that, and I just kind of kept it.
And the draft is fun. Waivers are not fun.
Yeah, that's another good point. Yeah,
you get $100 blind bid, folks. Spend it all on one player and never look at waivers again.
Literally what I do. Absolutely what I do.
Same. Whoever pops off first, it's like, all right, there goes my 100. Oh, waivers.
Well, that's usually what I have. That's how I get my running backs. Usually, that one running back, or the second my QB gets hurt, I'm like, well,
yeah,
there'll be a lot of backup kickers that or backup quarterbacks that are typically rostered. Fields will get rostered. Anywhere where there's, how do I put it, a less than certain lock at a quarterback position. Is that a polite way to put it?
That is a very diplomatic way of saying it.
So, yeah, I mean, those people those backups, they'll get drafted. Aiden O'Connell, does he get drafted?
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind was Gardner, AOC, and I was just like,
yeah, I mean, they'll both get drafted because there's probably a good chance both of them are starting.
Darnold and McCarthy. KJ McCarthy will get drafted.
Yeah, there's no way they start Darnold, right? I mean, please tell me they don't.
Know. I've heard so many back and forth reports up here. We'll see. I mean, I've
invested a fair amount in McCarthy, more than I would have thought like 2 months ago, but he ended up. I ended up liking him more than Drake May in all rookie drafts and rookie auctions that I've done. So I think of the rookie quarterbacks, JJ McCarthy is definitely my highest on my rosters. I am not in on AR at ADP. What's his ADP? There's no ADP established yet. The scoring and settings just went out. Give it a day.
I love that.
Like we got to talk to Jeff. Like, all right, Jeff, you need to put a marker like pre-release ADP, and then because he does, within his Discord, he runs so many mocks, which is awesome. Going for two, that Jeff from Going for Two, his Discord, they run so many mocks, and you can always jumping amok if you want to in there. And he pulls it and he creates the ADP from it. But I feel like there needs to be like a bar going down because I would actually like to see how it shifts now that people know what the actual scoring settings are. And again, the lineup settings. Oh, man, the 112 is appealing. But I feel like I'm missing out on an absolute. I feel like I'm missing out on an absolute stud. Then
I have a question. As people are doing this in the chat, Joe Flacco must roster. Richardson hasn't finished a game. He's sorry yet. I went to look
Joe
up
Flacco.
Joe Flacco to lead the NFL in passing yards, 20,000 to 1. That's like
gives you.
That's twice the melon cap level, right?
Yes, I was just gonna. Yes, we both were ready to reference it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, who's the 12th player in scoring, Scott? Right now.
From last year?
Yeah, like last year with the new settings. Who would be number 12?
I mean T.J. Hawkinson, but he'll be out till Thanksgiving. So
okay. Well, who's the 13th?
Raheem Mostert. That's a lot of touchdowns.
That doesn't feel good. All right. Yeah. All right. The 112 is becoming less appealing. Who's the 14th?
Jordan Love.
Oh, see, that's not bad.
Then AJ Brown. You got Puka and Laporta around that, and Rashad White and guys like that around that corner.
Yeah, Puka and Laporta, I would be interested in.
Be drafted earlier, I'm sure, which will push down one of those higher up people.
I am noticing a trend, though, that the further down you go, the players aren't quite as good.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Whoa.
I need to do some research on that.
All right, just tell me, where is Kyle Pitts in the scoring?
Oh boy.
But can you go back to his rookie year statistics and apply it? Can you apply his rookie year stats to the new scoring system? Somebody out there,
No, I can. I think I can do this.
Where's a spoonful of salt when I need him? Put in these stats, good stats for Kyle Pitts in the new settings, and tell me just how good it is. Don't use last year's stats. They are good.
Yeah.
I
was
the 112, I think, gives you the advantages of trying to stack. I think you lose those advantages in the top 5. I think the best bet is going in the middle and hoping you can get Lamar Andrews. I think that's the best one that we've discussed here.
I mean, I think it's but like at the 112, there's a somewhat realistic opportunity to get like CD and Dak.
Yeah, I mean, CeeDee Lamb was the number 1 receiver last year.
Yeah,
you think he's
but
falling
still,
to
it doesn't
112?
matter. He's still not going to be the first one drafted.
What receivers are people taking over him? Jefferson and Chase? Jefferson?
Oh, yeah.
They're probably not taking Chase over him.
They probably will.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Because first of all, 90% of us are dynasty players, and we're stuck in that. And so people will take Chase first.
Could I get Chase Burrow?
Burrow.
That stack is probably readily available.
I mean, you're picking the wrong wide receiver, but I get it.
No, I can get Higgins at like the 512 or something like that. So
we almost had points per Higgins scoring. If Scott didn't come up with
it was going to be so nice. Yeah, Lamb is going to be gone by 9. I think Lamb is, as much as people do want to draft Jefferson. I think Lamb is going to compete with Jefferson for the first wide receiver off the board. I think their ADP is going to be almost back to back by the time it all's said and done.
I feel this, Bob. I feel this.
This is why Scott is rewarding those that run, the quarterbacks that run. He's just punishing the rest of us that choose not to run.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Burns said Lamb is currently the 101. Yeah, there you go, right there. The wide receiver 1 in best ball ADP. I think we're going to see that in SFB. I think as much as we are dynasty players, the 75,000 people, 75,024 people that get into SFB 14, like,
well,
they're not all as diehard Dynasty as we are. So there's going to be a lot of them that come from underdog drafting, a lot of people that come from just regular redrafting. And I don't think that Jefferson gets preached above CeeDee Lamb in those circles.
I don't know. I'm not part of those circles.
That is an interesting. Looking at these numbers, you got to throw Jefferson in the first there. That'll drop some of those better players too, because Lamb was wide receiver 1 last year in this format. Tyreek Hill 2. You got to imagine Jefferson would be right up there with him. Maybe even Chase.
Where is he? Where does he come out from last year?
Well, he missed.
Or are you still crunching the numbers on Kyle Pitts' rookie year? What?
Yeah, I actually was, so I have to go back. But Jefferson's actually going to be pretty low due to how many games he missed, even though he was awesome when he.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, you got to sort points per game.
Yeah, Jefferson was 130th. but
that's got to be overall. What's his what is the points per game wise?
17.
Yeah. That's a lot better.
And honestly, that includes 2 games that he barely played at all. Yeah. 2 games that he played less than a quarter. So yeah.
I would take Lamb over Jefferson if I go wide receiver in the first round, but I don't think that's where.
In fact, if you do the first 4 games before he got injured, he was number 3 overall in the scoring.
Is there any chance Tyreek ever takes a kick, like a punt or a?
He did in Kansas City.
I know. How do we? Who's the highest ranked wide receiver that has a chance to do some returns?
I just remember Antonio Brown used to do it when he was
Deebo Samuel. Maybe Deebo.
He's got some chance for some rushes too. I mean,
from what team?
We've been live for an hour and 12 minutes. Should we let people go?
They don't have to be here. If you want to leave, we can go. But don't put this on them. You make your decision, Scott.
I'm still trying to figure out my draft slot. I haven't decided. I thought this was just a session for me to figure out my draft slot. I didn't realize we were still live. I'm kidding.
Oh.
All right.
This one's up here for you, John.
There we go.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert. You said was like the 113ers. Oh yeah, Justin.
Justin Fields might get some kick returns for us.
Oh. The 105 seems really appealing. I think the top 5 is a very clean top 5.
Yeah. Al, we're gonna probably do something special for to play in the division with me and my son. We just don't know what it is yet.
You have to have fish in your last name, which means I get to go in.
There is I think there's a Brian Fish that
there's multiple people with and I think there's a Tom also. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen him replying to some of the Fantasy Cares tweets or something, and I'm like, surely they just get an auto bid, right? Because it's the Fishbowl.
Those are really just Scott Burner accounts, so he can get more chances to try and win.
She's all that.
Yeah.
She's all that division is Scott Fish with 1 T, Scott Fish SKOTT.
Just me and Ian drafted. That's it. We have fully loaded teams.
Ian IAN. Just
IAN.
Ian.
This is a good note. If there's 45 people in here still. Tomorrow I'm gonna post on Reddit and ask me anything, and then on Monday I'm gonna answer a bunch of the questions on there. So if you have questions, drop in the AMA on Reddit, the fantasy football subreddit.
Scamper.
Nice, well done, Scampers. I like that. I think that's a good note to go out on.
Yeah,
there's a Wanda Fish too. Yes,
that's perfect. Yes. Love it.
Well,
all the useful information we end on.
Thank you everyone for coming around to hang out again. Most likely, because I'm sure a lot of you here before, but you learned something this time. You learned something for real.
Yeah.
And mock away. Just stop leaving the 101. Stop leaving us. It hurts our feelings.
It's sad every time you do.
I love that others did it. It makes me so happy.
So quickly.
It makes me feel like maybe I wasn't wrong. I like that.
No.
You don't want John to feel either powerful or validated. Those are two very dangerous things.
Those are dangerous.
But for reals this time,